Today we're going to start with calibration of the 965X and installing the tools. We have the min chisel, the max chisel, router, counter router, and pre-drill. The tools today will be the chisels, the router, counter router, left-handed bit, and pre-drill, which will be 1/8 inch. The tools we'll be using today are the tooling length gauge, the torque wrench, 2 different ends, 27 millimeter, 20 millimeter, and the 2 hand collet wrenches. We'll take the collar, add the collet, snap it in place. We'll take the tool out. Be careful, this is very sharp. Slide it into the collet. We're ready to install. When you're installing the collet into the tool, support the bit. Screw the collet onto the tool until it starts to get snug. Give it a little tug to make sure that the bit won't slide out before you release it with your hand. Using the 965X tool gauge, set to 3 3/16, touch the tool, slide it up into the collet until it touches, and release. Using the torque wrench, tighten the collet until it snaps. You will find the torque wrench settings in the manual for the 965X. Follow the same procedure for the counter router and the pre-drill. Using the bottom of the tool gauge with the hole in it, push it up until it's flush with the collet up above. Once you've got the depth set on the drill bit, go ahead and follow the torque specs that are in the manual. When handling the chisels, be very careful. These are extremely sharp. Make sure they're orientated in the right configuration. Min, min, max, and max. Slide the chisel all the way up until it touches and lock it down. Start with the one on the back right hand side, which would be the min. Tighten them evenly, go back, and lock them down. The reason you start with the back one is if the front one is in here, it's a lot easier to cut yourself. Install the other 3 chisels the same way you installed the first one. Make sure not to over tighten, and make sure that they're in the right configuration. We're going to start the machine and home it, but we need to have a reference point for where the home position is. It's going to sit at 5 inches off the 0. Power's off, waiting for start. Turn power on. Going to go to the home screen. Going to home the machine. We're going to confirm that we are 5 inches from machine 0 to the edge of that plate. If you are not, you'll go to the calibration screen, carriage access, and X, and subtract or increase whatever you need to get your machine 5 inches off the machine 0. If you have to move it, let's say 140 thousandths, minus towards machine 0, 140 thousandths, hit OK, hit save. Once you've saved it, you need to reset the machine. Now we're going to check all the jam stop locations, again on drawing 228-00-10. We're going to start with the first jam clamp at 34, followed by the edge clamp at 39.667. We'll go into manual servo control. In the X position, we're at 5 inches. That's the home position. I need to move it to 3400. We'll leave it right there. That's close enough. As you can see, at 3400, we are far away from the edge of the plate to the jam clamp. We're going to make a minus to the X to get it to where it's within 10 thousandths of this edge from the factory. Out in the field, we're okay with up to 1/8 of an inch. But from the factory, we set it to 10 thousandths of an inch. Subtract the number in X until you get it to where you are lined up with the jam clamp and the edge of the plate. Go to each location and write down the number that lines up the edge of that plate to the edge of the jam clamp, all the way down. Now we need to go to the shell and change those numbers in the config. I'm in the Kval config, right click, make sure you open it with the Notepad++. We are at 950, so we will have to add to get this to 1 inch. Calibration left hand, we're going to add 0.050. Save, and we'll run another door job. Running this one at 50%. Here we go. We'll confirm our measurement. This should be 50 thousandths too big. And that's exactly what we're seeing. To confirm this, I'm going to move it further down and run another one. Now we're going to change our library from 1 inch. I'm going to make that 4. Hit enter. Add 1 to Q. Toggle the stop. Toggle the clamp. Okay, that looks good. Now we'll run it with setup mode off. Download another door. Toggle the stop. Toggle the clamp. Hit start. Still running it at 10% just in case anything goes wrong. Once you exit out, you can restart Kval Cam. Now those config numbers are saved in the config for this machine. We're going to start by calibrating the jam stops. We'll find this in calibration under jam stops. We have left hand and right hand. We'll go to libraries, download calibration step 1. Double click it. Make sure that the jam configuration is the same as what you have as a jam. If you have a dado, the dado length, the jam thickness, and the dado depth need to be the same as the material that you have. Our jam is 11/16 and 5/16. We're going to take this and add it to the cube. In the main control screen, we're going to go to setup mode. Turn that on. We'll put the jam in place. Gonna hit the jam stop. We're at end of jam reference. Make sure we're at the end of the jam. As you can see, that is too high up. To adjust that, you go into calibration, go into Z, jam stop location. We're going to drop it down by about 1/4 of an inch. So plus 0.250. Save. We'll need to reset the machine for it to take effect. Turn the power back on. Wait for the head manager, and then you can home it again. Now we can hit the toggle again. Using the jam parameters that we have, 6.87 and a dado depth of 3.3125. Go into calibration. While in the main control, make sure you're in jam dado reference. Go into calibration. I moved it down 125 thousandths and saved it so that when we have it in the down position, it is 1/4 of an inch into the dado. We're going to run this in setup mode and at about 10%. Just to make sure that all the tools will clear before we actually run it at full speed. We'll toggle the clamps. Now we'll start sequence. We're just making sure that none of the tools are going to hit the clamps or anything else. Now we'll take setup mode off. We'll download one more. We'll run this at 10%. Set the jam. Toggle the clamp. This time we'll run it live. Have your hand on the emergency stop in case something goes wrong. You can see our cuts are extremely deep. As you can see with calipers, we're at 1 inch, 61 thousandths, 60 thousandths right in there. So I'm going to take 60 thousandths out of the calibration. And that should put it right at 1 inch. So we know we need to be at 1 inch. We're at 1 inch, 60 thousandths. We're going to come into tool calibration and we're going to add 60 thousandths to the right hand jam stop in X. The reason we want to add 60 thousandths is from machine 0 to the edge stop. I want to take this edge stop and move it over this way. So I'm adding 60 thousandths to bring the edge of the dado closer to the tool. Now we need to add another door. Add it to Q. Toggle the stop. Okay, we're going to run this at 50%. Now we should be at that 1 inch. Exactly 1 inch. Change the door job to a left hand. Add 1 to the Q. I'm going to run this in setup mode again. Toggle the stop. Toggle the clamp. And running it at 10%. Now we're going to adjust the jam stop in the Y location. We'll download the same job. Hit toggle start, and we'll go take a look at it. When we put it up against the jam stops, bring it over. We want to be 1 3/4 inches. As you can see now, we're at 2 inch, so we need to make an adjustment. We'll go into the calibration screen, carriage access, Y, and we're going to subtract 0.250. Save, and clear the queue. We will add one more. And toggle. Once we've made that adjustment and saved it, as you can see, we're now at 1 3/4, where we're supposed to be. The data that we're working with on the jam is 9/16 wide and 5/16 deep. So we changed that in our jam parameters. We're going to add one to queue, and we're going to check the Z location on our jam stop. The target is 1/4 inch down past the edge. We'll need to make an adjustment. The Z and the carriage access will go down about 1/8 of an inch. We'll clear the line. We'll add this to queue and toggle the stop. As you can see, if I pull up on this, we're about 1/4 inch down into the dado, which is exactly where we want to be. Now we're going to check the Z depth in a left-hand jam stop. Add one to queue. Go ahead and toggle the clamp, and we'll go take a look at it. As you can see, we're right at 1/4 inch. If we needed to make an adjustment, you'd make the adjustment on the Heim joint up here, because you've already set the head depth to where you want it. At the beginning of step 2, hit the tooling config, and we want to deselect the counter rotate router. We just want to use the main plate router. Save. Now we can go into step 2. Go into libraries, click step 2, bring it up, confirm that there is no dado depth, no dado length, add to queue. Toggle the stop, we're ready to go. Clamp it up. Go ahead and run this. This should be a 1 inch wide, 2 inch long, and 100 thousandths deep. As you can see, we're at 4 inches, got a 2 inch feature, but our depth is way off. We'll make an adjustment there. As you can see, our depth is off. We're at 0.288. We'll have to make an adjustment. We'll go into calibration, main plate router, and we're going to take the Z and subtract 0.188. As you can see, I messed up and you hit the subtract. Go ahead and save that. We'll run the feature again. This time, we'll add a few more inches so we can continue using this jam. Add one to queue, and we'll rerun it. We'll hit the clamp and start the sequence. We're at 103. As you can see, the back set says 0.260. We're about 10 thousandths off. The T location is plus 0.250. That's where we're supposed to be, is 250. We will go back over here to calibration. Combine this, because we know that is accurate now. And the Y location, we're going to subtract 0.010. We'll run this feature one more time at a new location further down. Add to queue, toggle the stop. We'll start sequence. As you can see, we're now at 250. Exactly where we need to be. Now we're going to move on to the counter rotate router. So we'll enable the counter rotate and disable the main plate router. Save. Go back into main control. We'll pick the same job, same library. We'll run it further down. Add one to the queue. Toggle the stop. Clamp it up. Start the sequence. As you can see, we're a little off on the length. We're definitely off on the depth. And let's check the back set. We're about 10 thousandths off on the back set. We're at 0.265 in the depth. Okay, we'll go into calibration and in the counter rotate router. Our Z, we need to subtract minus 0.165. In the Y, we need to subtract minus 0.010. And in X, we need to subtract a 16th, 0.0625. We'll save this. We'll run another one. At 16 inches. As you can see, we're exactly at 16. We're a little shy. I might add a thousandth or two to that. And we're at 252. I'll take that within a couple thousandths. Now that we like our adjustments, we're gonna combine all of these. And like I said, I'm gonna add 2 thousandths to the Z. Save and close. I'm gonna go back to the main plate router. Everything that I like there, I'm gonna combine and save. So now I zero out everything. Now we're gonna go to step 3, the pre-drill setup. As you can see, the feature has a pre-drill right in the center. I'm gonna add one to queue. Actually, we're gonna change the location because I know I'm down to 16. We'll go to 19. Add one to queue. Didn't take. Add one to queue. Toggle the clamp, and we'll run it. And we'll start the sequence. We want to get that pre-drill in the center of our feature. We burn an inch, should be 2 inches feature, should be at 1 inch. So So we have to bring it over about an 8. And in Y, we're looking pretty good. I don't know if we'll make any adjustment at all. And as you can see, we're actually deeper than what we can read right now. So we'll make an adjustment in Z as well. Now in calibration, we'll go into point-to-point drill. We're going to take the Z and I'm going to subtract about 100 thousandths. We'll see how that works. In X, I said we needed to move an 1/8, so we'll plus it 0.125. And in Y, we looked pretty good. We'll save this. We will download another job, and this time we'll move it to 22. Add to the Q. Toggle the clamp. Start the sequence. As you can see, I overshot it a little bit, so I'm going to make an adjustment, probably about 25 thousandths or so. We are still deeper than this can read, so I'll make an adjustment there as well. We'll go back into the calibration screen, point-to-point drill. I'm going to combine what I've already done. I'm going to subtract 0.025. And I'm going to take the Z and I'm going to subtract another 100 thousandths. Save that. Make sure there's nothing in the Q. Move this to 25. Add another one. And hit toggle. Clamp it up, start the sequence. As you can see, that looks in the center of the feature. Now we're going to check the depth. We are at about 109. In the feature group, it says it's supposed to be 150 thousandths deep. So we'll make an adjustment. Go into calibration, again point to point. We'll combine what we've done. And I want to add 40 thousandths in depth in Z. 0.040. Save, and we'll run it one more time. Add one to the Q, toggle the stop, and we'll start sequence. As you can see, we're now at 0.153. Now we'll go into libraries, select step 4. This will be the chisels. I'm going to start at 1 inch because I have a new jam. Add one to the Q. Toggle the stop, and we'll see where it sits. Clamp the jam, hit start sequence, and run it at about 25%, and have your hand on the E-stop just in case something happens. All right, we'll have to make some adjustments in X, Y, Y, X, Y, X, and this one we really couldn't see. A little too deep, not deep enough, not deep enough. We'll start with the lower left chisel. That's the one we were shallow in. We'll add Z, probably about 40 thousandths. See what that looks like. In X, we're gonna add 15. And in Y, we're going to subtract 10. We'll do one chisel at a time to start with. Add one to Q. I'm going to run the same one at the same place. And I'm going to run it at 100% this time. Okay. Start sequence. As you can see, we're going to have to go deeper in Z, make another adjustment in Y, and a little bit more in X as well. Made a change to 80 thousandths in Z. I'm going to combine these two. I'm going to move X and over another 15. I'm going to subtract another 10 in Y. I'll save that and run it. Add one to Q, toggle to stop. Start sequence. As you can see, we're getting closer in Z, much better in Y. Go a little bit more in X. We'll start making changes to the other 3 corners now. Okay. Lower left chisel, which is what we have been working on. I'll combine what we have. I would like to make another adjustment in Z plus 0.15 thousandths deep. And in X, I'd like to go another plus, we'll go 15 thousandths. We'll save that one. Now we're going to upper left chisel. Upper left chisel is the one that's not touching. So I'm going to go 80 thousandths in Z. And I'm going to go plus 25 in X. Then upper right, I'm going to go plus 80 in X. In Y, I'm going to go minus 10. And in Z, I'm going to go minus 20. Save that. And lower right. I'm going to go minus 20 in Z. In Y, I'm going to go minus 15. Whoops. And in X, I'm going to go minus 40 or plus 40. Save that. So now I've made adjustments on all 4 chisels. Go back into libraries. This time I'm going to change that to 3. Get a fresh cut. Add it to Q. Toggle to stop. Clamp it up and start the sequence. We're a little close, but we're real close on the lower left. The upper left, it looks like we'll have to move over in X a little bit more. Upper right, need to subtract X by 10. Y looks pretty good. And this one here, we want a plus 10. In X, Y looks pretty good. Z could probably go, I'm gonna leave Z until we run a few more. This one here is definitely shallow in Z, so I will add Z 30 thousandths. We decided lower left was good, so I'm gonna combine these so we don't get confused. Said upper left, I'm gonna combine what we have. I'm gonna add 20 or 30 in Z. And I was going to add 10 in X. Save. We'll go to upper right. We're going to combine those. I'm going to subtract 10 in Z, or X. Save that. And then finally, in lower right, we'll combine all these. And I wanted to make a change of plus 10 in X. Save that. We'll run another one. Seven inches. And see what that looks like. And hit start sequence. This time we're looking pretty good at the lower left. The upper left is good in Y, but in X we want to add another 15 thousandths. Well, let's make it 10. Let's not overshoot it. And lower right, we look good. I'm gonna go another 10, and then upper right, we're looking pretty good. I'm gonna leave the Z. We'll go back into calibration. Lower left is good. Upper left, we'll combine what we have. And I was going to add 10 thousandths. And then upper right, I was happy with. Lower right, combine that. I wanted to add another 10 thousandths. Let's add another one to the queue. Toggle the stop. And start the sequence. We're looking pretty good on the lower right. Lower left. Upper left. And upper right. I'm going to subtract 5 in X. Looking really good there. Lower left, I'm gonna subtract 5. I'm gonna leave this one. Lower left, I'm gonna subtract 5. And upper right, I'm gonna subtract 5. I'll combine these because I like them. And save. Run another one. 13. And start sequence. And as you can see, in a short amount of time, we got that pretty well dialed in. Select calibration step 5, add to the queue, hit the stop. That cut is an overlap cut with the counter router coming in and the router to cut it off. If they're smooth, you've got them accurate. Now that the machine's calibrated, we have to run all the common jobs, 965X, all the way down. That will ensure that the machine can reach its min and max capabilities on every job, including a 10-foot jam and a 9-inch wide jam.